students, today we will discuss about the plant kingdom. In our earth there are so many diversity of the plants. So we will discuss about the term by term about the plants. Okay. So today we will discuss about the 4 type of classification given by the scientists. Right? Then we will discuss about the terminology. Then we will discuss about the alternation of generation in this session. So there are the 4 types of classification given by the scientists, namely artificial system of classification, natural system of classification, phylogenetic system of classification, and the last is the phonetic system of the classification. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. Okay, the artificial system of classification, what it says? It says it is the earliest system of classification. The point is, it is the earliest system of classification used by only gross superficial morphological characters. Scientists used only vegetative, or you can say morphological characters such as habit, color, number, shape and leaves. Means this is the outer appearance characters, not the internal, only the outer. As in the NCERT, it says that the superficial morphological characters. So the next is, they were based mainly on vegetative characters. So it is known as the artificial system of classification. So who supported this classification? So this system is supported by Aristotle and the Carolus Linnaeus. Right? Okay. In artificial system of classification, the scientist Carolus Linnaeus, what he did, he classified the plants, on the basis of androecium, which is the male reproductive organ. So it is known as the sexual system of classification. Right? Okay. So next comes disadvantages. There are some problems in the artificial system of classification. So we will discuss, that is they separated closely related species, because species are those plants which can interbreed. Right? So they separated closely related species since they were based on few characters, not many, only few characters, as you can say plant height, or you can say plant habitat. Right? So also the artificial system of classification equal weightage of the vegetative and the sexual characteristic. They gave the equal weightage to the vegetative, as you can say the morphological characters, and the sexual characters. It should not be done. Why? Because sexual characters are conserved for years, and we know that vegetative characters are more easily affected by the environment. So there are some advantages that I discussed with you. So let's move to the next classification, that is the natural system of the classification. Okay, so what this classification says, this classification says that scientists divided the plants on the natural affinities. In the NCERT, it has written that natural system of classification is based on the natural affinities, means among the organism, and consider not only the external. They not consider the only external but also the internal morphology, internal physiology features, but also the internal features like ultrastructure, what is inside the plant, what is inside the plant cell, anatomy, dissections, embryology, formation of embryo, and the phytochemistry, what kind of the chemicals are released by the plants. Right? And such a classification for flowering plants was given by George Wentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. Means this classification was supported by these two scientists. Okay. The another point is this system gave more weightage to reproductive characters. So it was the good system of the classification. So the next is phylogenetic. Phylo means fossil records. Fossil means the dead remains in the rocks. So in this classification, at present, phylogenetic classification system based on the evolutionary relationship between the various organisms are acceptable. So in this classification, they classify the plants between the evolutionary relationship. What is the relation of that plant to this plant? This system of classification was supported by the Engler, Hutchison, and modern by the Takhtajan and Cronquist. Right? So we read the three system of the classification. One is the artificial system of classification, and next is the natural system of classification, and third is the phylogenetic system of the classification. So next move is the phonetic system of the classification. Phonetic system of classification. There is a question that every plant fossil record is possible or not? Can we record every plant fossil? No, it is not possible. To study those plants, we use three kind of phonetic system. First is the numerical taxonomy, cytotaxonomy, and chemotaxonomy. Right? So we will discuss these three in detail. So first is the numerical. Numericals means number, you can say code. So in this taxonomy, it is easily carried out by using computers and is based on all observative characters. Okay, as you see any characters on the plant and you can easily observe them, so you can feed the data on the computer. So number and codes are easily assigned to the characters and the data are processed. Suppose that I have a plant, for example, for plant height, I am assigning the code, that is the, in computer language, that is the binary number 0. For plant color, plant leaf color, I am assigning 1, and flower I am assigning 0, 1. So this is the number and code assigned to the all characters and data then the processed. And there is the one main feature of this classification, that is the 100 of the character studies once. Okay, as we read in the first artificial of system of classification, that says only few characters can be studied once. But here in phonetic system, that is the numerical taxonomy, we can study 100 of the characters study. So in this way, each character is given equal importance. Right? Okay. So move for the next, that is the cyto. Cyto means cytoplasm. Sorry, cut, please cut. So, cytotaxonomy, that is, it is based on the cytological information like chromosome number, structure and behavior. So, cytotaxonomy only based on the cytological information like chromosome number, chromosome behavior, chromosome structure. Right? Third one is the chemotaxonomy. Chemo means chemicals. Chemo means chemicals. Chemotaxonomy. What it says? It says it uses the chemical constituent of the plants to resolve confusion and are also used by the taxonomy these days. This is the most trustable or reliable phonetic system of classification. And this is, as I'm saying that the chemical constituent, that is the RNA, DNA, crystal oxalate. So that's why DNA or RNA, you can say DNA is the genetic material of this cell or the plant cell or animal cell, you can say. So DNA is the genetic material of the plant cell, so it is more reliable in genetic system of classification. So before studying the alternation of generation, we will go through some terminology, that is the gametophytes, sporophytes, spermatophyte, archegoniate, brachyophyte, flowering plants and the cryptogams. Right? So let's discuss one by one. So first is the gametophyte. Gametophyte means gamete form. It is a haploid body. It is a haploid. Haploid number is haploid. And it is the multicellular, made up of many cells. So, how the gametes are formed? By the process of the cell division. And which type of the cell division? That is the mitosis. Okay, where the number is not reduced. And on some gametophytes, sex organs are present on the, and on some gametophytes, sex organs are present and on some these are absent. As for example, on algae, there are the sex organs are present. Great. But they are absent in such as pollen grains. Pollen grain is a gamete, but there is no any sex organ present on the pollen grain. So this line says this thing. So next is the sporophyte, that is the main body, it is 2n, Flaherty number is 2n, so it is a diploid body. It is a multicellular, made up of many cells except unicellular in alga. Why unicellular in alga? Because alga's zygote is single celled, that is formed from male and female gametes joined together and form the zygote, that is the unicellular. Zygote already developed into the sporophyte. Oh, sorry, cut. यहाँ से कट कर देना. So next is the spermatophytes. So spermatophytes mean seed bearing plants. Spermatophytes means seed bearing. So examples are gymnosperms, angiosperms. Okay. So we will discuss in next class what are the gymnosperm, what are the angiosperms. The next term is the archegoniate. Archegoniate means female multicellular sex organ. Okay, if the term comes, that is the antheridium, that is the male sex organ multicellular. Great. Examples are bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms. These are the these have the archegoniates, that is the female multicellular sex organ. So the question is, why algae is not included here? Why? Because we are saying the multicellular. Because the algae have the unicellular sex organs. Okay. The next term is the flowering plants. As you already know, flowering plants are the angiosperms. So the next is, we will divide the plant on the basis of the open and the hidden sex organs. So there are two divisions, that is the cryptogamy and the phanerogamy. Crypto means hidden, as you heard about the cryptocurrency. Right? So it is the hidden, and another is the phanerogamy. Phanerogamy means sex organs are exposed environment. So cryptogams include the three, that is the Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Great. So Thallophyta includes two, that is the alga and fungi. So we do not need to know about the examples right now. We will discuss in later class. Okay. So in phanerogams there are the spermatophytes, that is the gymnosperm and the angiosperm. Right. These are the very important terms and could be asked in the examination. Okay. Name the division. So now the question session. Name the division which is non-embryophyte, no embryo and non-vascular. Okay. So what could be? Let's recall. So I skipped this thing. That is the embryophytes, plant in which zygote is formed. That is why they are now known as embryophytes. Right? All the bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperms are embryophytes. So, excluding the algae, why we here excluding the algae again? Because here the zygote is sporophyte. Zygote is sporophyte, that is the main body. They directly form spores from the zygote. Right? The zygote develop into the sporophyte. Right? So algae is not the embryophyte. The next question is, yes, tracheophytes. I just already skipped this. Plants which have the vascular system. Vascular system includes xylem and phloems. Example are pteridophytes, gymnosperm and the angiosperm. So algae and bryophytes are atracheate, means they do not have the vascular system, xylem and phloem, because they already live in the water. Right? Here is the answer will be, what will be the answer? Answer will be the alga. Right? So the next question is, name the division that is embryophyte but is also a atracheophyte. We already read this thing. The answer will be the bryophyte. Right? So we have done the session, that is the terminology. and the natural system, 4 types of the classification. Thank you everyone. I hope you liked this session. Thank you.